So Next Level and I have been very we've been trying to fight. We're trying to figure out one particular device, and we've been trying to wrap our brains about the Roku. Trying so okay, and this isn't to bash on anybody. I know we crack up on certain things, and there's certain jingles out there that will crack up on or whatever, but it's no disrespect. I think it's kind of funny, but one of the things that we were and I still want to do this. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I want to do a legit video on the Roku. We like to put a value on just about everything, and I think we've never really talked about like what could be the worst device possible, or like worst device meaning with third party app friendly. I think there's a couple of them out there, like Apple products that gives you a pain in the butt, or the Roku that is also a pain in the butt. There's several devices out there that we want to talk about it, but we don't want to look like, I don't know, idiots, I guess, like talking out of our asses and say, hey, Roku is the best because it does XYZ. I want to say Roku was probably one of the first devices that were like streaming devices that were out that were very popular. I want to say Roku might have come out before the Fire Stick. I don't know. I'm
pretty sure it did. Roku was definitely the first devices that I had seen, and I would see them at Walmart, and I would see when I went around.
Yes. Yeah, so like I'm just trying to remember like when things came out and stuff, and I want to say Roku was the one that started the whole cord cutting experience, because you could get certain applications that were on it. You can get certain things that you don't have to have a cable bill anymore. I know TiVo had something, but wasn't close what Roku was doing. So if you can, please explain what a Roku is, what it does. I know you've had a Roku before. So I just want to pick your brain about the Roku device.
The Roku is a streaming device. It comes preloaded with its own apps. They do have a dark store that you can go to sideload apps, but you have to go on the website and you can sideload some apps. I wouldn't even necessarily call it. Well, I guess you could call it sideloading.
Well, it's not from the official app store, right?
But because it's not Roku approved apps.
Right. That's so then it is sideloading.
Yeah, because they're not Roku approved apps. But it's their dark store. It's called a dark store.
It's crazy because I never actually owned a Roku, and my assumption was that it was always locked down. But I remember coming across some comments that you had put into chats and some posts and stuff like that, and I was like, And some of your posts, I'm not gonna lie, it made me want to get a Roku just to test it out, because you would say things like, "You can do this. It's not as easy, but you can do it," and I'm like, really?
And you can before you could go into the Roku and you have to go into settings and you tap the it's been a while since I worked on the Roku, but you can go into settings and you could tap it was something you press 3 times and it kind of jailbreaks your Roku.
Developer options, probably.
Developer options, yes, and you do it 3 times in order to put your educational purposes, your IPTV in order to put your M3U list in.
Huh. Was that a specific program?
Pardon me?
Was it a specific program?
It's to unlock that, to put that in there and other apps in there. No, it's kind of like you unlock it.
Okay, and then you would have to do that before you got to the dark store?
No, you didn't necessarily have to do that for the dark store, because you do the dark store on your phone. And then when you put the code in there, it just appears on your Roku, and then you download it. So, like you download it on your phone, and then it appears on your Roku.
Now, if it's not Roku approved, how does that look like? It just doesn't allow you, period, or does it
Like you
allow
can
you?
just go in the Roku store and get it. It's not available on the Roku store. You know, when you go in the dark store and get it, they give you a number code, and then you type that number code in, and it downloads them. It looks like when you download it, you don't really download it on your phone, but it looks like you download it on your phone when you press download, but it downloads onto your Roku.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
It's like an underground store.
It's like a downloader that views the download from your phone, what's going on to your Roku. Because you can send the down. What it's doing is sending the download to your Roku from your phone, but you're viewing the process on your phone.
Right.
How good, bad, or ugly is sideloading or jailbreaking or whatever you want to call it, a Roku compared to an Amazon device or an Android device? What would you say are the pros and cons for the Roku when it comes to what you can do and what you can't do?
I think the pros are way better on the Amazon. You could do way more on the Amazon than you can on the Roku. Right. I mean, the Roku, you can get more like live channels. You can get more. You can get some stuff you shouldn't be getting on there. You know, you can get more sports stuff. You can get a whole lot of stuff on the Roku from the dark store, but you can get a lot on your Amazon.
No, those things on the dark store that you're saying, like the sports and those channels, are those like free applications or are those things that you have to pay?
Yeah, they're free. They're free. No, they don't cost.
That's pretty cool. So you're saying that like the live channels.
I mean, I think they got a couple of things that cost, but the majority of the stuff, it's a lot of stuff. I'll look up the dark store and I may send you that. I'll send it to you.
So I'll be very honest. I've had a lot of people that have come to me saying, I have a Roku. Can you do anything on it for me? And I'll be like, no, get another device. So if somebody came to you with a Roku, are you in the boat of telling them you're just better off getting another device? Or are you still trying to help people with Rokus?
I haven't done it in a long time since COVID, but I used to do people's Rokus for them. I used to do people's Rokus the same way I do their Fire Sticks.
Wow. That's
Like, so that was educational purposes moneymaker too. I do their Rokus for them. I would set them up with M3 units and everything, you know.
That's pretty cool. Because like honestly, when I hear stuff like this, like you are probably the first person that actually made me want to get a Roku. Legitimately, I never wanted a Roku until like I started hearing you talk about it. I'm like, I can do this, I can do that. I understand that I can't do everything I can do with my Fire Stick, but being in the position that, you know, we have to have the information and the knowledge for when people come and they ask us questions, right?
All right. I used to do people's Rokus because there was a lot of older people and they loved their Roku and they would buy a Roku TV. And I'd be like, well, here, try this Fire Stick. Well, I'm so afraid of it. And I was like, but still, you know, they would be overwhelmed with Cody and stuff. And I would show them, well, all you got to do is this. And even though the links would pull up for them, they just thought Roku was so much easier. I'm like, okay, well, here, let me throw this M3 list on here and put some stuff from the dark store and they would just be good to go, you know.
So these applications from the dark store, if they were for TV shows and movies, were they one-click play or are they searching?
Yes, they were one-click play.
So I guess even though the content with Rokus are limited, it's easier to use.
It's easier to use, yeah, and a lot of older people really liked that.
So what's the difference in devices? Because I guess you've played with a few of them. Because I know they have a couple. They have sticks. They have boxes.
Yeah, and the layout same it didn't matter if it was a stick. The one thing that I did like about the Roku is even though you could Bluetooth your remotes with the Fire Stick, with the Rokus, one remote works every month. Like if you got a Roku, that one Roku remote works every Roku in your house. You know, so once I program one Roku, all I got to do is push update on every other TV in their house. Just press update and it's on all their TVs. So when I go to that dark store and program one of their Roku TVs, all I got to do is go to every other TV in their house and press update, and then channels are on all the rest of their TVs.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
So yeah, so they made it the programming quicker if they have more than one Roku in their house.
Now, does Roku also, once you have something downloaded on there, does Roku do the what is it called, the sweep? I guess where they kind of reset stuff that they don't want on there. So if they're like, hey, we don't want this APK or we don't want this app or whatever, do they kick some of that stuff off?
They do sometime when they're outdated or something like that, but you could always go back to the dark store and get it again, but they rarely ever do. I mean, a lot of but they do sometime.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like with anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not that often.
I've heard same thing what Next Level was saying, that I've had people come to me say, hey, I got this Roku. Somebody on wherever told me this is the best device, and yeah, I think it's the first, it's usually like, hey, something happened and everything got wiped out, and I'm just like, well, what'd you do? I'm like, it's usually something that you did.
But no, it wouldn't wipe it. Like for example, if the app no longer works because it's outdated or you needed to get more updated, it's just like the same difference if Terrarium needed updated. I'm just using Terrarium for example. If it needed updated, then you just got to go in the Black Store and get the updated version. That's what I'm talking about.
So were you able to put for educational purposes Cody?
No, you cannot put Cody on there. Believe me, I tried.
No way.
Believe me, I tried.
What about Terrarium?
No.
Well, those are APKs, right? APKs is not the same platform.
But you can put stuff similar to it that you can watch movies and TV shows and stuff. And weren't exactly APKs, but you still can watch a lot of the latest movies and TV shows. Stuff like that.
So this
similar to it.
This Black Store, was it like a URL that you had to put somewhere, or that it was automatically like something that you could access?
It's a URL like on your phone, but it's a store. It's a URL. Okay. Yeah, look at for on your store, and then it has all these different things.
But once you had it on your phone, you didn't need to like get a downloader or get like a file link.
No.
That's so cool. Actually, that's a nice process. Without, I guess, thinking about the whole side loading or jailbreaking or anything like that, what would you say about the user interface of a Roku versus, let's say, a Fire Stick?
I like the Fire Stick layout better.
Yeah. There's a lot of content that comes with Amazon Prime, and the Fire Sticks, they're based around obviously Amazon Prime. It's an Amazon device. With Roku, is there a paid platform like how you pay for Prime on the Roku? Like, do you pay for additional content, or do you get a lot more content for free on the Roku versus a free version on the Fire Stick?
To me, they're both about the same, because the Roku, just like the Fire Stick, when you first set up your Roku, you do have to have your card, or unless you're doing it for somebody the other way, you still have to put your card information in, because just in case somebody orders something and it belongs to HBO, if they get a movie and it's HBO movie, they're going to want to charge you for HBO.
Yeah.
So it's the same concept.
And a lot of this stuff works, I guess, with like the M3Us you were saying.
Yeah, the M3U. You just type. Yeah, you could just put the M3U list in, and it works until the M3U don't work, and then you just change the M3U list.
And you know what? There's a lot of M3Us out there. I mean, there are. there are a lot of groups out there. I'm not going to say where or how or whatever, but if you go searching, you'll find them.
Yes, you will.
Even some filing stores have M3Us in them.
Exactly.
So I think it's very interesting, because for, let's say, when we're working on our Android boxes, a lot of times we will load on everything that we want onto a USB device and plug it right in and go from there. But I guess the ease of use of sideloading directly from a cell phone is a lot cleaner of a process, in my opinion, at least. So that's definitely something that I think I'm going to want to check out. I just want to play around with it so I know about it. What do you think, Rohas? Are you convinced to buy one yet?
No,
And there's some YouTubers that's still on YouTube that actually tells you how to use the dark store.
Yeah, I don't know if I will. So I know we're in the market to help people out with a lot of the stuff, but with M3Us, yeah, no, educational purposes. um, with M3Us, I've had so many experience with, because you could do the same M3Us with Kodi also. There's an area, actually somebody, hold on, Solo Man. He did a video way back when where he was just like, you could the word fully load Kodi without a build, with no add-ons. And I'm just like, but why? You know, like okay, let me see. You're probably gonna connect it to an internal driver or something within your house, or like I wanted to see what he was talking about. And then he showed how to set up the M3U list, and the thing looked just like Netflix, just like Terrarium, just like TV Zion, like the way the layout was, everything. He went in there, put in the M3U, and everything populated, and I'm just like this is nuts. Everything is pulling directly, and it was all one-click plays. It wasn't scraping anything. So he did mention that sometimes the M3Us go down. He did mention that it will drastically slow down your experience. Your Kodi will slow down because with add-ons, all it's doing is they're just skins. They're skins and they're pointers. They're not downloading anything or pulling anything. Is just everything loads up so fast because it says here is, it points to like IMDb. Here's a library. Everything is super fast. And then the scraper part where it's starting to scrape the internet on where to find those links is what takes the time. So he was saying, you give or take, if you have a scraper, it might not pull the link, or if you use this M3U link and if you see it, it will play it, and it will be a one-click play. When I started to, and he did this way back when Kodi was still, I don't know, 14 or something, or yeah, way back. So I was looking at this and I'm just like, I'm still not on YouTube. I'm over here with my almost $200 Fire Stick. And I was curious. I was and I would say I'm going to blame him. Because of him is when I started, is actually because of him I broke my Fire Stick because of him.
Wow.
Yeah. So what I did was I had the build already all set up. I ended up wiping it out because I was following his instructions. So I wiped out Kodi and I put this M3U list in there, and I'm just like, okay, so I started to learn about M3Us, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty easy. Just put in this long ass thing in here, and then it'll pull whatever you want. So I was messing with it. A week later, gone. So I'm over here searching for another M3U, and I find one, and then it might last a little bit, gone. Got to find something else, and I was like, damn it! Like, why can't I just like leave it alone? Whatever you're doing, But then I had to go back to my friend and said, hey, can you help me out with my Fire Stick? It doesn't work anymore. He's like, oh yeah, if you want me to do a house call, it's gonna be $100.
$100?
I'm like, $100.
I hope he's keeping his clothes on. Damn.
So I would be like, I'm over here thinking about, I'm like, you know what, just whatever, dude, come over. I need this thing fixed. I need it working. So then I stopped listening to Solo Man after that. I'm like, I'm done. So I started to then later on get into the whole searching other people and finding stuff, and how to, then I'm like, I started figuring my own thing out, and then the rest is history. I'm here on YouTube. But with the M3U list, I like when Next Level just asked me right now, would I jump on a Roku. I think the only reason why I would even jump on it is just to see how that dark store looks like,
Right.
just to see how it works, how it connected, how to add stuff, what is the fully setup that I can make with this thing. There's if there's any YouTubers out there doing it where they're fully showing you how to set it up and how to walk through it, I haven't seen those videos. I haven't ran into those people. The few people that I do know that talk about Roku being a beast of a device, they don't show anything. They just say, here's a code. And I'm okay. There's a code. Good for you, random numbers. But for me, I think because I know how an M3U works, and I've studied and I've talked to a lot of people and I try to learn how that stuff works. I think I'm so shut off by the M3Us that even with, for educational purposes with the live streaming services, even with that, like, you have a direct link that pulls certain things. But I know that they're dedicated links on dedicated servers, paid servers. So DNS and all that stuff will stay up afloat. With a lot of these M3Us, they're like, go to some random website and pull it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. I don't know. I don't want to tell somebody, hey, go to some. Here's a link that I really like that works. I don't know how long it's going to work, but I know it's been working for quite some time. Here it is. Good luck. And I know the nature of the beast is the same when it comes to like Kodi or third-party APKs. But even with some third-party APKs or Kodi, you could easily just say, do not update. And it will work until the website stops working with those scrapers. I've had so there's again with Kodi for private purposes only. We have a private add-on that we play with. We haven't updated it for about a year. We haven't done anything with it, literally. And it's kind of like I got reeled to brid and it still works.
Right.
It absolutely still works. It's my go-to. I still open it up all the time. And it's just, and the question, every single time we always get in a random quick chat, the question is always, should I update it or should I leave it alone? And it's kind of like, it works. So leave it alone, So I don't know. I don't know. I'm you've definitely caught my interest for sure. I probably wouldn't do videos.
Not on that anyway.
Not on that.
But Rohas, come on. I think it would be interesting if we did one video. I'm not talking about doing consecutive videos, but I think it would be interesting. The people might want to see either us being frustrated or intrigued with us using our first Roku device.
A video or a live?
Well, that's a good point too.
Okay, so for what you just said is the only reason why I would do one video. One video. I would do one because you just said it would be because we would either we would be intrigued or frustrated, whatever. I think it would be like an all no holds barred. We're frustrated, we're mad, we're intrigued, we would see all of our reactions on all of our emotions setting it up. So I think I would probably do it for that reason only. I don't know if we would help Roku's case with it,
Probably would not help Roku's case.
To talk about your point about how you see a lot of YouTubers doing a lot of videos on this, I think it's just because we're not in those circles. I think if we looked hard enough, and to be honest, I don't look at all, and I would probably venture to bet that you're not out there looking for Roku videos because you don't own one. But if we looked, we would probably find, content creators that were very specific with Roku. And I think it would be interesting to see their frustrations of trying to be a content creator and talking about devices like we do, but from the other side. So I think that would be pretty cool. I'm not sold. I'm not gonna, get rid of all of my Amazon Fire Sticks and throw them in the garbage, and then take my Monopoly money here that smells like maple syrup and go buy all the Rokus at my local Walmart. But I think it would be interesting to check it out nonetheless. I don't know if it's still a statistic or not, but Roku, last I checked, was the #1 streaming device in the world. And they're very smart with how they do it, because they're not just a device, they're a whole operating system. They're on a lot of smart TVs. There's a lot of devices that incorporate or encompass the Roku apps. So I don't know.
Yes.
They have a lot of marketing power.
They really do. I mean, they're taking over Walmart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, here's the real question.
Uh-oh.
Do you still have a Roku?
I don't remember the last Roku that I bought, and everyone got so upset. And so that's how I got my Samsung TV. Thanks to my viewers and my team.
So no more Roku. No more Roku Thursdays.
No more Roku. I know. No, they was like, nope, we're going to have this for fun, and you're not going to have a Roku TV. They called it a doorstop. You heard Tara called it. What do you call it? A doorstop?
Doorstop. So what I am gonna do, and I wanted to talk to you about it before anything. So as you know, I always have companies that send me stuff. And I did, and I know you did see it. I did get it from Sofa Baton. This is a universal remote for Roku. I don't know too many people. Actually, I don't know anybody that has one. But I think, I don't know. What do you think I should do with it? I definitely like to hook people up, and I'm pretty sure if I say who's got a Roku device, people are gonna say I do, which is okay. It's whatever. If it's got shortcuts to Netflix, Sling, Prime Video, Hulu. If you want to go full legit, there it is. So what do you think? Should I be giving this away on a live show? Should I use it as a doorstop? Should I make a video and blow it up? What do you want me to do? Do you want it, even though you don't have a Roku anymore?
Oh, I know. I miss my Roku. I kind of do to give to my sister, but at the same time, I guess you should pay it forward to the community.
Yeah.
Wait, did you just say you miss your Roku?
I do a little bit. But not really. No, I don't miss it. I love my Sony. Oh, now you're showing me the remote to rub it in.
I'll tell you this: the remote. I would have to say, I would have to say, this is probably one of the most comfortable remotes I've held. I hate the Samsung remote. It's got a weird little curve. And you got to hold it almost down here or something, but I like to hold it like this, but, and same thing with the Fire Stick. The Fire Stick is to me, the Fire Stick is uncomfortable also. But out of all the remotes I've ever played with, like, I would have to say, like, even the Shield, the old school Shield remote wasn't too bad. The new one is really, really weird. That triangle, I don't get it. I like they got to think your hand is curved, so why not make something that will fit your hand? And that's exactly what this is. It has that curve. So yeah. If I was gonna say,
my Shield,
like I just noticed this, it has the volume buttons here it has the volume here on the side of the remote, like. It's pretty neat. And then right next to it over here is the mute button. I don't know. The way they did this remote is very unique. But I was going to give it to you if you still had it, but you're like, well, just give it away.
Yeah, just give it away. Somebody still has holding on to a Roku.
Would you ever do a video on a Roku?
Oh yeah, sure. If I get another Roku, or maybe I'll go to my sister's house and do one. She has 2 Roku TVs still. And matter of fact, she's thinking about getting another Roku because one Roku is acting up. So I said, "Are you
You
serious?" I
can't
said, "Did you
convince her
not
from
see my
moving
show?"
from.
Huh? I
You
asked
can't
her, "Did she
convince
see my
her.
show where everybody?" I sent her my show where everybody convinced had got that TV for me. She said, "I'm still getting my Roku. That's them." She said, "Unless they're going to raise money to get me a different TV, then I'm still sticking with my Roku."
Do you want to give
So
this to
yeah,
your sister?
sure. Why not?
He's like forcing you to take it. He's like, this thing says Roku, and I don't want it in my house.
I know
Right.
she
You
wants
make it. If you want to, sure. I'll give it to my sister. I have
I know.
her even come on the show and thank you.
So
She's been on my show.
all right. So I've been holding on to this because, as you know, I always try to take care of the members and I try to take care of everybody from the Rohas squad. You know, if anybody who's listening out there, what that is, it's nxtlvl and I have our own membership for our YouTube channels. And you'll be able to see that right next to the subscribe button. It'll say join, and that join is where you can see all of our perks. Shrink and Sharon is all part of the Rojas squad, and I'm just like, you know, she's always been so helpful with the community, and I've been sitting on this thing probably for like 3 months, wanting to give it to you specifically.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Because of the fact that you've talked about the Roku, I'm just like, you know what? Like I'm gonna do a giveaway, and normally when I do the giveaway, I normally do randoms. I really do very, very random stuff. But with this one, I'm just like, no, this is gonna be handpicked. I'm gonna actually handpick somebody just because of how much you've actually helped the community, how much you've done for the community, how much you've been around the community. So if anybody's like, this is not fair, it's like she's done a lot of work. So this is why I've been sitting on this thing. So that way I could actually say, hey, I want to give this to you. And then if she wanted to take it, cool. And she said she'll take it. So
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it from the
no
bottom of my heart. Thank you.
That's the first giveaway on Beyond the Streams.
No, thank you. Thank
that
you.
is.
It is. That's pretty funny.
So of course, you know, make sure you hit me up on Telegram so I can get your info.
Okay. Okay.
And
Thank
then,
you so much.
if you do a video, I want to see the remote.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
I want to see the remote. I want to see how you configured it and set it up and all that stuff. I'm curious because I don't have a Roku, so I'm just like, when Sofa Baton send it to me, they're just like, hey, we see you do Android devices and this and that. Like, can we send you some stuff? And I was like, sure, like send me some stuff. And they're like, you know, what devices do you have? I'm like, well, I got the Fire Stick, I got the Shield. Like I pretty much have every single device out there. I don't do Apple, I don't do Roku. Like I was very clear. I don't do those 2 devices, but I'm free everywhere else. Cool. So Streaming Wizard, when we sent him his little care package, I sent him the Sofa Baton for the Fire Stick.
Yes.
I'm like, this will be cool for him to have, for him to review. I'll hook him up. And then they also, and it's funny, Ken keeps telling me, when are you going to open this guy up? The Sofa Baton that you could like program all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So they sent me this one too. I'm just like, okay, cool. And then they sent me the Roku one, and I'm just like, what the hell am I going to do with the Roku one? So I told them, I was like, hey, this is going to be part of my Amazon deals of the month. I might do some pre-rolls here and there as I start using it. But it's going to be like a quick little blurb, and that's it. So the Roku ended up being, the Roku remote was Amazon deal of the month, saying, hey, they have these deals on Amazon, check it out. But I never used it, you know? I just kind of went off of reviews, and it's a remote. It should work, you know?
Right. Thank you.
So, yeah, I'm going to be looking forward to your video.
Okay. I was looking forward to it. I was trying to do it.
For sure. So you said you're no longer using Roku. Now you're using the TV.
Yes, the TV that I have now, my Sony TV.
Your Sony.
I mean, my Samsung. Sorry, I got Samsung.
So your Samsung, which one is it?
It's a Samsung the one that just came out beginning of this year, whatever. It's one of the newest TVs. It's 4K.
Okay. And you have do you have APKs stored on there that are you
Yeah, APK stored on there. I did a live, but a live with it, but I had to take it down because we show content.
Yeah.
We showed too much content when I did the live on it, but it had APKs built on it. The one thing we noticed, we could not sideload some of the APKs on it, but it came with a lot of great APKs on there, and I noticed that it mirrored everything. Like I didn't have to use like my Roku. I mean, not my Roku, but my Formula Z8 and my Fire Fire TV, the Cube. I didn't have to use the remotes. My remote mirrored them, so I could just use my remote to my TV for them.
Do you have the Formula or the Cube hooked up to your TV?
I have both of them hooked up to my TV.
Both of them?
Yes.
On your TV, on just the TV, if you're not turning on the Formula and if you're not turning on the Cube, just the TV by itself, do you have Kodi or do you have any like TV Zion or anything like that?
No, that's what we tried to do. We could not sideload any of them. I tried to do that on that live I did.
Yeah.
It did not allow me to sideload them.
Yeah, it's a little bit trickier with those. There's ways of doing it. So I have the Samsung QLED 900N series. Yeah, it's the TV. So this is the best way I could explain it. When you go to Best Buy and you go all the way to the back and you see that insanely stupid, ridiculous TV that is like it's huge,
but massive. Sometimes they say huge.
Looking at the specs and all that stuff, I'm like, the TVs aren't. It has, I want to say, I forget the RAM. It's got like 2 gigs or 3 gigs of RAM in there.
No, you're thinking ROM.
No, RAM.
Yeah, but 2 or 3 gigs isn't bad.
Right. It's not. It has an accelerator on there, and I forget the chip. I'm gonna have to look it up. It has some good specs on there. But when I was playing with it, I noticed it started to slow down the entire TV. Like the experience of just going from 1 to 1, like the internal memory, I didn't have enough internal memory to really do stuff.
They're probably using DDR3.
Probably. Actually, you know what? Yeah, probably. But it was the experience started to get worse on the TV, so I started to delete stuff. I'm like, screw this. I don't need this stuff anyway. I got the Shield. It's all plugged in. For educational purposes, I tried to, see if I could get it on there. And it was like pulling teeth. It was not easy. It was hard. And finally, when I figured it out, I was like, yep, this doesn't belong on here. So yeah, so now I have my Shield plugged in, and that's, I turned that sucker on. But of course, with our Samsungs, you got certain built-in apps that don't need that much memory. You got your Disney Plus, your Hulu, Prime, stuff like that. So when I use my Disney Plus, it's actually interesting. I use my Disney Plus on the regular TV, even though the Shield I know has more power than the TV would, but it just looks so much better. And I think the reason for that is because it's not going through
HDMI cables.
It's not going through the HDMI cable. It's not, yeah, exactly. It's not going through all the hardware through the Shield. It's directly from the TV, and it's going directly to its source. There's no hoops of anything that it's going through. So I watch it, and the Lion King, the live action Lion King on that thing is scary. It looks way too real. I'm over here just like, this is nuts. It was a great movie, but yeah, I'm like, this is nuts.
We went to the movies to see it, so wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to the movies.
So that was my what is that? The Mandalorian? When I first watched it, I'm sure both of you guys have seen Mandalorian, right?
Yeah.
So the beginning, you know how they have their own. I love their intros when they have all the different droids and they spin over and all the different colors, and it just shows like one droid. When it does that, I was confused. I was actually confused watching it. It was like I had to stop and say, like, wait a minute, what am I watching? And I know we've talked about 4K, how sometimes the brain doesn't process,
Yeah.
you know.
Yes.
I have a Sonos surround sound system. If you don't know about Sonos, just look it up. They're the one and only true wireless hi-fi surround system. It's nuts. So when all these sound effects starts going on, the show starts going on, everything starts going on, and this was me plugging this TV on for the very first time. I was so overwhelmed. I was just like, I don't know if I'm about to get a seizure. I don't know if I don't know what's going on here. So I stopped everything. I went to my other TV and I played it, and I was able to process everything good. Everything was cool. And I'm just like, okay, I'm like, I felt normal. I didn't have my surround sound system. It was just the bar, and that was it. But when I was on the TV, I went back to the other TV, and I'm just like this is just, I don't know. The graphics and everything was just a lot. it was really clean, clear, and the way they emerge you into that environment, they literally drag you in there. They put you inside Star Wars, you know. And don't get me started once they start fighting and shooting, and it's all pew, pew, pew,
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
you're ducking. You're like, where are they shooting from? Yeah, it's awesome. So, and Samsung, you know, you said you got the new one. Samsung TVs are just
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
I love Samsung stuff.
And imagine watching Mulan that came out today.
That's what we're doing tonight.
Oh
Yeah, I think I might actually. I don't know, because the thing is, I haven't watched the original Mulan.
Purposes is already out.
Yeah, it came out last night.
$30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's out in Atmos sound. Anyways, I don't know if I'm gonna watch it because my girlfriend loves Disney movies, but so do her kids. So she's probably gonna end up watching it with my kids, and I'm not gonna sit there and watch Mulan by myself.
Why not?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Also, another movie that's out today is Quiet Place 2.
Which one?
The Quiet Place 2.
Okay. I don't think I've seen one, but
Really?
Yes, that came out today. That's out today. The Quiet Place 2.
I might be doing
Very
that.
quiet movie.
I might be doing that tomorrow night then. Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, thank you for sharing. now that we know. A couple things that we say on this channel. You guys take care, and you take care of each other.
And stay humble and be patient. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace out, guys.
Peace.